Welcome to another edition of Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast, with your host, Brandon Morrell.
Hey y'all, this is recording artist Justin Andrews, and you're listening to the Grand Slam of Music, Sports, and Entertainment. It's the award-winning nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Stream the show anytime on iHeartRadio podcasts. You can also stream it on thwn.org.
And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Of course, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody out there, too. And, of course, Happy New Year coming up. Hope those New Year's resolutions are doing you very well out there on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network, and powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. And, of course, out there, too, thwn.org, and anytime on iHeartRadio podcast out there. With the holidays come great artists, and we finish up our last week before a 2-week well-deserved break out there for the holidays, and coming up we'll resume shows January 6th or 7th of 2026. Our 7-year anniversary is coming up here for the podcast, the Grand Slam of Music, Sports, and Entertainment. And we got sports and music mixed today with Nashville recording artist Justin Andrews to the show. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Got it, man. I'll tell you what. Well, let's get the sports stuff out of the way off the top, because I want to talk about this, because we were chatting before the show here too. Defending NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I'm a Rockets fan down here, too, at the same time. So, for that to happen, still a good young team, good core. But, man, SGA just makes everybody better on that squad, well coached. And I'll tell you what, man, for that first title for Oklahoma City last year, you still have to be on a high, too. And you said you had memorabilia laying everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. I've got I had to go pick this up when I was home. The the good old special commemorative edition magazine there, because I mean, for Oklahoma City fans, it's kind of like watching your kid get a scholarship, to play college, and then go, from when Katrina happened to, the Hornets coming to Oklahoma City. And it's we don't have any pro teams in Oklahoma. It's all, college football, and it's massive. And me being a basketball fan, played basketball, it was awesome to see.
Talk about just your backstory, too. You mentioned playing professional basketball in Australia, which is one of the countries I've always wanted to go to, just to see down under and just see all the great things, the great weather, the beaches, everything over there, too. But how that kind of took you from just a little bit of that sports background to now where you're actually a recording artist.
Yeah. Well, when I was in high school, we had my junior year, we had a really good team, and we went 26-4 my junior year and in high school, and got to go play in Oklahoma City at the Big House, at what they call it. It's coming. I think they've already tore it down, but it was at the state fairgrounds. And my junior year, no, my senior year. I'm sorry, my senior year, I got an invitation to go over and play in a international tournament. And so we went over and played in Australia for a little while, and played in Hawaii for a little while. So it was a lot of fun.
What about that connection to music? I find everybody talk about it all the time, since I do music, sports, entertainment here on the show. It's like, you can't have one without the other, but then you've got so many different things where you mentioned you played the game. So that definitely you have to have the same mentality, being a musician, even to sing a national anthem at an arena, a stadium, or, ballpark or something like that too. And then the grind of being an athlete kind of overlaps with the grind of being a musician, right?
Yeah, it does. 100%. I mean, you got to want it. I mean, it's a full-time job. And, I mean, if most schools that I grew up around, they would let you play dual sports. And now, I mean, I think it's when you find the sport that you're committed to, you kind of just stick to that one, and that's about it. But we had kind of a smaller school where I grew up. There was 16 in my graduating high school class. So it was a dual sports school. So you had to kind of help the coach out, and he goes, "Man, are you going to come out and play basketball for me this year? Are you going to come out and play baseball too? Or are you going to, do this, do that?" And so, but I mean, when you're on those buses and, stuff like that, back then you had a CD player, anti-skip that was not anti-skip. And so I always listened to my favorite records and things like that. And I think that's where it kind of molded together a little bit, for the love of the game and the love of the music.
Yeah, speaking of those favorite records, what really kind of was playing on those records growing up? What artists kind of shaped you a little bit growing up?
It was a lot of George Strait. a lot of Travis Tritt. Uh, those are my favorites. I loved like the bluesy kind of sound that Travis Tritt had going on, and obviously the king of country music, George Strait, just for being who he was, and it was mostly that. I mean, with a little bit of Eminem mixed in there, had to get kind of juiced up for the games.
Did you always kind of figure that being in the performing arts business was for you? Was it kind of definitely musically inclined? Growing up playing an instrument. Talk about that story of getting that first guitar, and did you teach yourself learning chords? Kind of go through that with me.
My grandparents had a traveling gospel bluegrass band when I was growing up, and so that's kind of the background of where it all started. But uh, I always sang and stuff like that, but I didn't really learn to play guitar until I was probably 20. Oh, I was probably 25 or 26 when I was working in oil and gas at the time, and I made a commitment to myself. I was like, man, every night when I get home, no matter how tired I am, I'm going to play guitar for an hour. And so I just started looking up chords and all that stuff, and I taught myself how to play, and it kind of pushed me a little harder, to challenge myself, and so I pat myself on the back about that all the time because people are like, man, you do really well. How long you been playing? And I'm like, probably mid-20s. And they're like, you're kidding. And I'm like, no. So, I mean, I do kind of pat myself on the back a little bit about that one. I don't do that a whole lot.
Yeah, and you should, because you look back at it too. You have people that start, real young in the business, and then some people, like yourself, pick up an instrument there, kind of in their 20s, some 30s, 40s. And I always say it's never age is just a number. You're never too old enough to dream and kind of get out there and do what you want to do. So you took the leap of faith, and I think you've done it with this latest single, which I got to play right now too, because I love it so much. And if there ever was a song that really, for me, painted a picture of everything that country music is all about, it's this one here, Silverado Sunset. Our guest Justin Andrews here, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, and THWN.org, and of course the Sports Guys podcast.com for the website out there at the same time and anytime. iHeartRadio podcast. Enjoy this one, and we'll come back and talk about it here. Stay tuned.
We'd spend all week thinking about that old three-door, old 300 green, fuel of 4x4. We'd head out past that old no trespass sign, passing time, waiting for that Silverado sunset, brown bag of booze, farm buzz, two hearts that hadn't run yet. We were falling fast in love. The only thing that saw us in that bed was that burning daylight I'll never forget. That Silverado sunset. Summer flew by way faster than we could blink. First kiss, our first time. Ain't it crazy to think how young we were? No matter where I'm at, when I see an auburn sky, it takes me back to that Silverado sunset. Brown bag of booze, farm buzz, two hearts that hadn't run yet. We were falling fast in love. The only thing that saw us in that bed was hearts that hadn't run yet. We were falling fast in love, and that Silverado sunset, brown bag of booze, farm bus, two hearts that hadn't run yet. We were falling fast in love. The only thing that song was in that bed was that burning daylight I'll never forget, and that Silverado sunset, that Silverado sunset.
Hey guys, this is recording artist Presley Tennant, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio podcasts, on the sportsguyspodcast.com, and at thwn.org.
Are you looking to increase your online presence? Are you searching for a new logo or company branding? Have you been considering more ways to reach the world with your business, ministry, or church's message? Barkley Music and Media is an award-winning design company that utilizes the latest technology while keeping the integrity of over 30 years of customer service. Web design, graphic design, multimedia, video editing, voiceover, commercials, logo design and branding, photography, and much, much more. See portfolios and testimonials online at www.barkleymusicandmedia.com or contact them today at 502-382-8299. Barkley Music and Media, your connection for the best in multimedia. Call today, 502-382-8299, or go to www.barkleymusicandmedia.com. Barkley Music and Media, integrity, technology, and design. www.barkleymusicandmedia.com.
Hey guys and gals, this is recording artist Don Barnes with 38 Special, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio broadcast and on the Sports Guys podcast.com and at thwn.org.
Welcome back here to the show again. Justin Andrews, the Backstage Pass, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network, and our friends, again, thwn.org, iHeartRadio podcast, and the Sports Guys podcast.com. So you mentioned the two things come together, a Silverado and a sunset, and you put it in a great country song, latest single. Tell us all about it, the writing, and kind of, paint that picture of just a great song. Really is.
Well, my producer, Will Weatherly, we started working on this project early in this year, and Silverado Sunset was a song that he had sent me. It's one of the ones that I didn't write, which is, rare for me, because I like to, I'm not one of those people that, oh man, I'm not going to sing anybody else's songs, but I just hadn't heard one that really just, kicks your teeth in, and so he sent me some songs for the project, and he was like, man, he goes, listen to some of these songs and let's see what, kind of the direction that we're going to take this project this year. And I heard Silverado Sunset, and I was like, oh my gosh, man, this song is great. And I recognized the voice on the demo. And so it was written by Chris Young, Will Weatherly, Tyler Reeve, and Josh Phillips, which is an absolutely star-studded lineup when it comes to music, country music. And so he was like, well, man, he goes, I wasn't really intending for you to try to grab onto these. And so that kind of bummed me out for a second. And I was like, oh man, that's a really great song. And then he got back with me just a little bit later, a few weeks later, I think it was. And he goes, hey man, Chris said, if you want to go ahead and sing that song, he's going to go another way on this new project that he's doing. And I know Chris, and I talked to him about it, and he goes, man, he goes, just go sing the hell out of it. And so that's where it came from,
And that's the beauty of it. As long as I say sometimes here on the program, doesn't necessarily have to be a hit to make somebody feel something and just resonate with the public out there and the fans. And now at your live shows, I'm sure the fans, especially this one too, carrying into the New Year's, it just came out December 12th. With this one, you guys are going to take this one and probably put it right into the set if you haven't already too, for these live shows beginning probably into next year too, right?
Yeah, we're going actually into the studio tomorrow to record some new stuff for the next year, and so this one's in there. The two previous ones, Where I Am Tonight and Gone Again, are in there, and the one that we're going in to record tomorrow is about as country as it gets too. You know, I'm a real big storyteller. Like I love a storyteller fan, but I also write stories as well in my songs, and I think that we need to kind of get back to that, because some of the country music that I really like still, I mean, and there's not a lot of country music that I don't like. That, you know, when I hear people talk about, man, I don't like that artist, he's not any good. I'm like, nah, wait a minute. Let's not get carried away here. Let's just say that it's not my cup of tea. Don't say, oh, I don't like it because it doesn't sound country. Well, that's fine. You know, to me, it doesn't bother me that much. But for my preference, I like the storytelling, and I like the stuff that were real life emotions and real life feelings, and blast from the past.
Yeah, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it is I always tell people, you know, if you don't like the song or if you don't like a show, there's a thing called a pause, a play, and a fast forward and a rewind button. And guess what? You can go click on something else. But don't sit there and complain about it.
That's exactly right, man. I'm in the same ballpark with you. I agree wholeheartedly.
Like I told them sometimes, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day. They're like, well, how you do your show the way you do it? I said, well, I own the company. I can do what I want when I want. I don't have to answer to anybody. If you don't like my show, guess what? You don't hurt my feelings. There's plenty more out there. Go click on something else out there too. So.
That's right. That's the way you have to think about it, because
Yeah.
for like social media and things like that, when people comment and it's negative comments and stuff, that's why they like your social media team tells you, like, don't go read the comments. But I go read them because it doesn't bother me, but most people, they get beat up about it, and I'm like, man, out of all the people that have heard the song, if you get two or three negative comments, I can handle that. you know
Definitely got strong skin for this business, no doubt. Hey, before I play the next track and feature this one, love this one too, called Gone Again. Talk about just sharing the stage with, we mentioned Chris Young and how just impactful he's been, Morgan Wallen, many others out there, Joe Diffie, God rest his soul, and of course, Randy Houser. When you get a chance to share stage with those type of artists, and you're like I said, early in your career now, what do you kind of take with you back as far as, you're doing your thing out there, you're watching them. Some people say it's like going back to school. Kind of elaborate a little bit on, that and kind of what you learned from, sharing a stage with those impactful acts like that.
Well, I mean, some of these guys, before I started country music, these were the guys that I listened to on the radio, and this is the guys that I would listen to when I was at work, and all that stuff, and to be full circle to where you get to be on stage with somebody, like Randy or Chris or Morgan. When I met him here in Nashville, he would come into the bar and jump up on stage with me and sing with me, and I'd sing with him, and all that. But it it lets you know that you have a shot, and it lets you know that anything's possible, really. I mean, as long as you want to work hard enough, and the most important part in my experience out here is just being a good person. That they don't want you to walk up and garm on them, and they don't want you to walk up and try to take pictures with them and stuff. And I think it was just that got me to that point, to where that they felt comfortable enough to do anything like that, is because you're not trying to be all down their neck, but yeah, I mean, it's been an absolute dream so far, and we've still got a long way to go, but it's been a lot of fun, and all those guys are great guys, and if you hear anybody say different, they're full of it, because once you get to know them, they're great people.
Good dudes, no doubt, out there too. Just regular people. I always say too. Meet a lot of great
Yep.
celebrities here on the show. Interviewed a lot of great people here on the Backstage Pass, and they're just regular people, just like we are too as well. And often, like I said, lending that helping hand out there to help those younger artists. Because I always say sometimes, we're only built for so long, and we can't do this forever, and we got to train the next generation to come up right behind us too as well to this. And I'm always supporting younger artists here on the program, and people trying to work hard and break through and have that same type of work ethic that I do. I got to ask you about this because I'm planning on going there next year. I love taking my show on the road. I was mentioned to Natalie out there too, and a lot of the great publicist managers and record labels in the business. I love taking it on the road to like CMA Week and Country Radio Seminar, in March when they have that too as well. But for you just headlined the National Finals Rodeo. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, we go out there every year, and I think this was our 7th or 8th year. I think if my memory serves me correctly, but growing up in Southeast Oklahoma, I mean, there's rodeos every weekend somewhere, and growing up in high school, that was what we did on the weekends, and it's almost like a massive family reunion is what it feels like, because cowboy culture is a different thing than just buying a pair of boots and buying a hat and going walking around and trying to make a fashion statement. And when you go out there to the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas, it's almost like you went home. But yeah, we've had some really cool shows out there, and we just got done playing at Doghouse and Resorts World last year. I did Thomas and Mack in the arena where they actually host the rodeo, and no, it's been awesome. I really enjoy going out there. We were out there for 14 days this trip, so I was a little gassed out after that trip, but it was fun anyway.
Yeah, I plan on taking my show out there too next to December when it happens again. The conclusion's already happened there too, and spending a few days out there in Las Vegas too. Well, time for another one here. Justin Andrews, our guest, the Backstage Pass, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, and THWN.org, and out there, the sportsguyspodcast.com, and of course, anytime on iHeartRadio Podcast, now a top search music show out there on iHeartRadio Podcast. It's called Gone Again. Here it is. Came out in May of this year, too. It's Justin Andrews, the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned.
Gone again, pointing that little black Jetta down 40 West, chasing that getting over me sunset just like she did before. Gone again. Yeah, girls like her don't stick around, don't stay for long, don't settle down. One high heel out the door. There's a bar stool with my name on it, waiting on me like it was last time. Goodbye hurts like hell, don't it? Whiskey's gonna make it all alright. Mix 'em up and pour 'em strong. I keep 'em coming all night long till the lights kick on at 2 a.m. She's gone, I'm about to get gone again. Gonna let that bottle go straight to my head, let her wash away everything she said, till I don't care anymore. 'Cause there's a bar stool with my name on it, waiting on me like it was last time. Goodbye hurts like hell, don't it? Whiskey's gonna make it all alright. Mix 'em up and pour 'em strong. I keep 'em coming all night long till the lights kick on at 2 a.m. She's gone, I'm about to get gone again. Don't know where she went off to, but she can get gone, hell I can too, yeah. There's a bar stool with my name on it, waiting on me like it was last time. Goodbye hurts like hell, don't it? Whiskey's gonna make it all alright. Mix 'em up and pour 'em strong. I keep 'em coming all night long till the lights kick on at 2 a.m. She's gone, I'm about to get gone again.
Hey y'all, this is Nashville recording artist Sunny Sweeney, and you're listening to the best in music and sports, the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream anytime on the sportsguyspodcast.com and on THWN.org. You can also listen anytime on iHeartRadio Podcast.
Is your home or business in need of a fresh look? Right Flow Pressure Washing and Lawn LLC is more than just pressure washing, providing professional cleaning for homes, commercial buildings, parking lots, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, and so much more, including lawn service and landscaping. Our mission here at Right Flow is to exceed the needs of all our customers while providing all of our services at an affordable rate. We're committed to going above and beyond where the job is done right. Give your property the care it deserves. Call Right Flow today at 409-363-2565 or go to rightflowwashandlawn.com.
Hey y'all, this is country recording artist Jay Webb, and you're listening to the best in music and sports with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Stream the show anytime on iHeartRadio podcast and at thesportsguyspodcast.com. You can also listen at thwn.org.
And back here on the show again, Justin Andrews joining us here, gone again. I feel like that sometimes when you do the travel schedule, always out there here on the Backstage Pass. Tell us all about this one here, because great feel, mentioned came out in May of this year. And, man, just y'all, I think I hit the nail on the head with another one here.
Well, Gone Again, I think that song, I think everybody can kind of relate to that song. I just love that song and love singing that song and watching people react to that song just because it's the truth. And there's all somewhere, in a breakup or in a little tussle or whatever with your significant other, there's always a bar stool with your name on it. It can always be that way. Sometimes this might not always be the best idea, but there's always one there. And I've got a lot of positive feedback on that song, and people love it just because it's relatable to them also.
I want to get your opinion on, man, this female class right now. It's like somebody's always coming up behind it. Not just Lainey Wilson the last couple of years from the just the dynasty she's built. But you look at it now with Ella Langley and Priscilla Block and Hannah Ellis and some of these great singers coming right behind here in this female category. Give me some thoughts on these ladies finally getting a little bit of that respect they deserve.
Man, they are absolutely crushing it right now, and I couldn't be more happy for them because I mean, when I was growing up, it was Reba and Shania Twain and Faith Hill and all those greats and Priscilla Block and like you're saying, Lainey and Ella and the thing about it is their songs are really good too, and for me as a music lover, and I know it's different for people out there in radio land, in the car on their way to work or, at work or in the gym or whatever, like for me, like I just love good worded songs. And it's not to say that if somebody doesn't, it's I don't like it, but like I said, I usually don't say that I don't like it. I say it's not my cup of tea just because, but I mean, if it wasn't for the wind, that Ella song, like that thing is just man. And come to find out, after it came out, I was like, man, because once you start writing music for a living, you kind of pick up on people's styles on how they turn phrases and how they do things like that. And I heard something in that song, and I was like, that sounds like this guy Johnny Clausen that I used to write with all the time. And so I went and looked up the credits on that song, and sure as the nose on my face, Johnny Clausen was one of the writers on it. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And so, like, I mean, I think they're absolutely crushing it right now. And keep going. We need some more of those good girl country songs. We need more of them.
No doubt, too. And some of these ladies already, like you said, Ella and some other ones, I mean, they're headlining their own tour, and it's just crazy to see, like, putting great music out there. And it, really comes down, I wanted to ask you about songwriting. Is that one of those aspects? And of course, you get mixed, just like a song out there, too. And of course, if it's a cup of tea for somebody, you mentioned that expression this entire time. But for songwriting for you, is that kind of your favorite part to kind of go through that and, like, put pen to paper? Or do you like more of the co-write style or writing your own material or kind of draw that inspiration? Talk about that for me.
I kind of like to do both. I like to sometimes just come down here and sit in the office and to see what I come up with and write some songs but I also like getting in the room and mixing it up with two people or like I only do three people at the most, including myself, and just because I think when you get more mind frames on it, you can paint a prettier picture, across the horizon and but I mean, sometimes it's good to just go down by yourself and just sit down there and just beat your head against the wall my lady asked me, she said, what's it like in those rooms when you're writing a song? And the only way that I could explain it to her was just imagine somebody gives three people a math problem and you sat in there for 3.5 hours, and no matter what, when you leave, it's still not right. It's just about the only way that I could explain it.
That too. Great expression. We hadn't heard that too many times here on the show there too. Yeah, and math is one of my weakest subjects out there when it comes to those algebra equations and all the stuff out there, geometry, and sometimes, like I said, I'll attack it, but it never was my friend in high school there too. But you know what? You keep trying, you keep plugging away, and you get better with all that good stuff out there too. All right, let's have a little fun. I'm gonna throw a little rapid fire questions at you, and whatever first thing comes to mind, kind of shoot there too. Latest movies or series you're getting into? What do you like?
Rings of Power. Rings of Power. I just started watching it. It's a spinoff. It's a prequel to Lord of the Rings. And most people don't know this about me, but I'm a big nerd when it comes to like movies and stuff. So I like the magic and the dragons and the wizards and the knights and all that stuff. I don't know why, but I've just always been that guy.
I'm right there with you too, and I'm with you on the Hobbit series. I still watch that a lot too because I love the Hobbit.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. I mean, especially the production and the shooting locations that they have on those. It's amazing to me.
Now, were you a Harry Potter fan too?
I was. I wasn't as big as everybody else. Like I've always been the person to where I'll let the series or the movies be done before I start them. But I didn't realize when I started Rings of Power that it wasn't finished yet. So it kind of threw my groove a little bit because I like to just go in and I think I watched uh, Game of Thrones. I think I watched Game of Thrones. I think there's seven series seasons. I think I watched all of those in 1 month. I just watched all of them. I like to binge them. Like I don't like to wait for the next episode to come out.
Love that too. All right, favorite cartoon growing up. What came to mind for cartoons?
I think my favorite cartoons, I grew up old school. My grandparents raised me in their 50s, and so I was home during the day, and we didn't have cable or anything like that. For the most part, we had some channels. I forget what it was, but I always liked those black and white Three Stooges cartoons. Yeah, those like I can still sometimes when I get home and my lady hates it, like I'll sit down and I'll just turn on these Three Stooges black and whites, and then when they went to color and but I can sit there and laugh harder at that. Like you could put on any comedian that's out right now, and I'll laugh harder at the Three Stooges episodes that I've seen a bazillion times.
Love that. All right, and the holiday traditions. What's on the menu? Were you guys going back to Oklahoma for the holidays? What's going on family wise?
Yeah, we're gonna go back to Oklahoma and see the family and uh, just hang out with my dad, hang out with my grandparents, and Oklahoma tradition. You got to go shoot some guns and all that stuff. We usually my grandfather loads his own shotgun shells and all the rifles and all the pistol rounds and all that stuff. So every holiday we usually shoot about 1,000 clay pigeons. That's what we do on every holiday.
I love using clay pigeons. I was gonna say even the clay shooting. I remember one in December we had to get it out there to the sling and everything, throw them up, pop them. Like I said, whatever we were shooting. And so it's Texas. If it's an Oklahoma tradition, it's also a Texas tradition down here too. At the same time. All right, Marvel or DC guy, or a little bit of both?
I'm gonna have to say a little bit of both. Uh, I kind of like all of it. I just watched The Flash the other night again. Uh, but I like all those Avengers and movies and I don't know. I think growing up when I was growing up, when you got up in the morning before you went to school, it was Darkwing Duck. Like that was an old one. Uh, but I don't know. I think I kind of like all of them. It's all like I really don't buy into DC or or any of that just because I kind of like all of them. So I don't really get controversial over which one's better, Marvel or DC.
No, just say fun questions, whatever comes to mind here too. I got to ask you about the last single we talked about. Actually, we've not talked about this one too. Current one across all the platforms, Silverado Sunset. We played that one. But the one before that, September, Where I Am Tonight, shed some light on this one for us.
That one was a lot of fun to do. That one was a Will Weatherly song as well, and it's funny that I was talking about, that for the most part, well, I won't say for the most part, but I like to throw a healthy combination of my songs and outside songs, and it just seemed like that those songs like really stuck to my bones a little bit, and I just really fell in love with them, and it's funny that those songs were his and the next two were going to be mine. It's just fun having a good little mixture, but that song, when I heard it, I could feel the emotion just pouring out of that song, and that is what I absolutely fall in love with, and I think it just kind of grabbed me, and it's a slower song, and it's a sadder song, but I've always said this: sad songs make me happy, and I don't know why, they just always have. And but yeah, it's one of my favorites that we've done so far, and I mean, I can't wait for the audience out there to hear all the new stuff that's coming out too, because I mean, I'm not, especially with the people that are working with me right now, is you're not going to get a bad song coming out of the stuff that we're throwing out. So that's what I'm the most excited about this next year.
Well, I'd say I'd be excited too if I was playing those cards, and what you put out already is kind of like the tease. I'll say that too, like a vacation. Sometimes you get 1 week, sometimes you get 2 weeks. But I'll say this: I'm ready for more stuff to come out in 2026. The current single, Silverado Sunset, across all the DSPs, and make sure you guys give him a follow out there too, as we educate you here on the Backstage Pass, the latest up and coming rising superstars in country music out there. Justin Andrews on the Backstage Pass, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. My friend, appreciate the time here on the show, and would love to follow you, man, on just the path into 2026. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We appreciate you being with us, and would love to have you come back.
Oh man, I would absolutely love that too. Thank you for letting me come on and chat with you for a little while.
You got it, my friend, out there too. And also thwn.org, iHeartRadio podcast, and powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. It's a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. We're back with more great artists. Tyler Farr coming on the program this week. And, of course, a nice little 2-week break coming up here, too, across all the affiliates out there. But back with your shows coming up on January 6th and 7th of the new year. We'll talk to you soon. God bless. Take care. And always, if you do something out there, make sure you do it safe here this entire holiday season. We'll see you soon. Take care.
What's up, Farm Flops? This is recording artist Hastings, and you're listening to the best in music, sports, and entertainment. It's the Backstage Pass with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream the show anytime on the sportsguyspodcast.com and on thwn.org. You can also stream on iHeartRadio podcasts. You're going to be glad you did.